The carpet was so close to his face that Tade could count the tiny threads one by one. His knees were pressed tight against his chest as his breath came slow and careful under the hotel bed. Anyone looking at him would think he was hiding from danger, but the truth was almost laughable. This was his own idea. Welcome to the sweetest African folktale stories, where we bring to you the sweetest folktales to nourish your mind and soul. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so we can grow together, sweet folks. It was the night before his wedding in Lagos. Tade had told everyone he wanted to spend the night alone in the hotel,
long day.
like many
I'll
grooms
see everyone
do.
tomorrow.
He had acted tired, yawned a few times, and even switched off his phone early.
Long day. I'll
but
see everyone
he didn't
tomorrow.
sleep. Instead, he hid. I'll just hear what they really think, he had told himself earlier with a quiet
I'll just
smile.
hear what they really
Then
think.
I'll come out and surprise
Then
them.
I'll come out and surprise
He
them.
imagined it already, him crawling out, laughing, catching them off guard. I caught you, he would say. Simple, harmless, a joke. Then the door opened. 2 men walked in. Slow footsteps, confident ones. The kind of steps people take when they are sure no one is watching. Tade's lips almost curved into a smile. They came, he thought. But the smile didn't last long because the first voice he heard didn't sound like love. Tomorrow everything changes, one of them said. Tade froze. That voice, it was Kunle, his younger brother. The second voice came with a low chuckle. Finally, the man said, we've waited long enough. Tade's fingers dug into the carpet. Kunle dropped into the chair. The leather creaked softly. What time do you think our wallet will sleep? Sola asked casually.
Sleep? That man
Tade
believes
blinked.
tomorrow is a love
Wallet?
story.
Kunle laughed quietly.
Tomorrow
Sleep,
everything
Tade,
changes.
he scoffed.
Finally, we've
That
waited
man
long enough.
believes
What's a
tomorrow
wallet will
is a
sleep?
love
That man
story.
believes tomorrow is a love
The
story.
words hit harder than a slap. Tade stopped breathing for a second. Love story? Wallet? Sola stepped closer to the bed. Too close. He thinks marriage will change his life, Sola continued. He thinks this woman is different. Kunle snorted. They always think that. Tade's chest tightened. They were talking about him, not like a brother, not even like a human
Just make
being,
sure the documents are
like
ready. Both of
an
them,
investment.
Tade and Amara. If she
Sola
refuses, we
sighed.
create pressure.
Just make sure
You
the
mean
documents
confusion.
are ready, he said. Once he signs after the wedding, everything will fall into place. Kunle replied without hesitation. He will sign, you know him. A short pause. Then, he trusts us too much. Something inside Tade cracked. Under the bed, Tade shut his eyes tightly. Because it was true. He did trust them. He had always trusted them. Images flashed through his mind like quick lightning. The house he bought for his mother, the school fees he paid without asking questions, the money he sent every month, the business he funded for Sola, the one that failed. Then the second one. That one failed too. Still, he said nothing. Kunle spoke again. After tomorrow, the account will be shared exactly how we planned. Tade's heart pounded. Accounts? Planned? Sola laughed softly, and he was still thank us. That one hurt the most, because it sounded real. Tade swallowed hard. He remembered his past, his first marriage, the arguments, the shouting, the nights that never had peace. I can't keep living like this, he had said back then. I'm tired, his ex-wife had replied. They had both been broken, so he left, not out of anger, out of survival. I won't let my children grow up in this, he told himself, and he meant it. Even after leaving, he didn't abandon anyone. He stepped up more, father, provider, everything, alone. Then came Amara. She wasn't loud, she wasn't desperate, she didn't chase his money. The first time they spoke, she asked him a question that stayed in his heart.
How are your boys?
How are your boys?
Not how what do
she
you
had
do?
asked him.
My
Not
boys.
how rich
That
are you?
moment changed
Not
something in
what
me.
do you do? His boys. That moment changed something in him. But his family, they didn't accept her. Not openly. They smiled, they greeted. But something always felt off. Kule used to say, we just want to protect you. Sola would add, we've seen women like this before. Tade believed them. At least he tried to. Until now. Back under the bed, Sola's voice cut through his thoughts. If this woman deceives him, he will not recover. Kule replied immediately. That's why she must not feel too comfortable. Tade's stomach turned. There was a pause. Then Kunle said something that made Tade's blood run cold. We'll handle it the same way we handled the last one.
Are you sure he
Tade's
doesn't suspect
eyes
anything?
flew open.
Suspect what?
The
No,
last
this
one.
is not real.
His ex-wife. The fights, the misunderstandings, the endless tension. Sola sounded curious now. Are you sure he doesn't suspect anything? Kunle laughed. Suspect what? He said. That we were the ones feeding her lies? Tade's body went still. That we were pushing her to fight him? His ears rang. That we were collecting money from both sides while they were destroying each other? Tade pressed his mouth against his face. No, he thought. No, this is not real. Sola exhaled slowly. Tade is too soft, he said. He wants peace too much. Kunle replied calmly, and that's why he's easy to control. Tade felt something inside him break completely. Not crack, break. Sola shifted his feet closer to the bed again. Tade's heart slammed against his ribs.
And
the boys, Sola asked. Tade froze.
Against
My children, he thought. Kunle sounded dismissive. Forget them, he said. Once Tade signs, everything is ours. Everything. Tade's throat tightened. Then Kunle added, and if Amara tries to act smart, he paused. Sola leaned closer. What happens? Kunle's voice became calm. Dangerously calm. We remind Tade of what we reminded him before. Sola lowered his voice. The secret? Tade's entire body went cold. Secret? What secret? Kunle whispered. Yes. Sola said slowly. Say it again. There was a short silence. Then Kunle spoke. Tade is not even sure those children are his. The world stopped. Under the bed, Tade couldn't feel his body anymore. What? His mind whispered. Not sure? His children? Which one? Both? One. His fingers started shaking uncontrollably. Sola spoke again, his tone darker now. If he ever finds out, it will destroy him. Kunle replied immediately. That's why it won't find out. Tade struggled to breathe. We don't use it to expose it, Kunle continued. We control it. Tade bit his lip hard, because now he understood something terrifying. His life had not been falling apart. It had been carefully pulled apart. What about the boys? Sola asked again. Tade's chest tightened instantly. Kunle was quiet for a moment this time. Then he spoke. If Tade starts suspecting anything, we turn the boys against Amara. Tade's eyes snapped open. No, he thought. No, not them. We make her look like a threat, Kunle continued. He will choose them over her. Sola nodded slowly. That will break her. Kunle shrugged. That's the point. Tade's hands trembled. Using his children? That was the line. That was the moment something inside him snapped completely. Not pain, not sadness, something colder, clearer, dangerous. Tomorrow is the wedding, Sola said. Kunle nodded. Yes, tonight is the last free night. Tade listened carefully now. No emotions, just focus. After tomorrow, Kunle continued, everything returns to the family. Family, the word sounded like poison. Sola picked up a bottle of water. You think he loves her that much? He asked. Kunle replied slowly. Enough to make mistakes. A short pause. Enough to sign anything. Tade's jaw tightened. Sola drank and nodded. Then it settled. Kunle stood up. Let's go. BC is waiting downstairs. They both started moving toward the door. Then suddenly, wait, Kunle said. Tade's heart stopped.
Something is not
Sola
right.
asked. Kunle's footsteps came back. Slow, careful. Something is not right, he said. And this time he moved directly toward the bed. Kunle's steps stopped right beside the bed. Tade's heart slammed so hard it felt like it would expose him. I'm telling you, Kunle said slowly, something feels off. Sola sounded irritated. You are overthinking. No, Kunle replied. Think about it. The envelope. BC said she left it in the car. Tade's eyes widened. So how did it get here? Kunle continued. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. Sola spoke carefully. Are you saying someone brought it here? Kunle didn't answer immediately. Instead, he crouched right in front of the bed. Tade's entire body locked up. He could see Kunle's shadow stretch across the floor. Closer, closer. Then a phone rang, sharp, Loud, sudden, Kunle cursed under his breath and stood up quickly. "Bisi," he said, answering. Tade almost collapsed from silent relief. "What do you mean?" Kunle snapped into the phone. Sola stepped closer. "What happened?" Kunle turned slightly, listening. Then his expression changed. "He's not answering," Kunle said. Tade's blood ran cold. "He switched off his phone," he added. Sola frowned. "But we are in his room." Kunle slowly turned his head. His eyes moved toward the bed again. Tade stopped breathing completely. Then Kunle laughed, a slow, dangerous laugh. "He's playing smart," he said, "or he's hiding." And before Sola could respond, Kunle dropped to his knees. Again, this time fully, his face lowered, closer to the floor, closer to the darkness, closer to Tade. Time slowed. Every second stretched painfully. Tade could hear his own heartbeat echoing in his ears. 1 inch more, and everything would be over. "Kunle, stand up," Sola said suddenly. Kunle paused. "I'm serious," Sola added. "You are letting your mind run too far." Kunle hesitated. Tade's chest burned from holding his breath. Then Sola continued casually. If Tade wanted to hide, he wouldn't hide in his own room. Kunle didn't move. "Think about it," Sola added. "He's probably downstairs, at the bar." A short silence followed. Then Kunle slowly straightened up. "You are right. I'm overthinking." Tade felt his body loosen slightly, but he didn't dare move. Not yet. "Call BC. Tell her we're checking the bar." Sola
I
pulled
heard
out his
something.
phone and
You're
dialed.
imagining things.
"Relax," he said into
Relax.
it.
Tad is not
He's
the type to hide
probably
on the
drinking
bed.
somewhere.
If only you knew.
A pause. "Yes, I'll call you back." He ended the call. "Let's go," Sola said. Kunle took one last look around the room. His eyes passed over the bed. Then he sighed. "Fine." They walked out. The door closed and silence took over. Tade didn't move immediately. He stayed under the bed, still, silent, letting every word sink in. His brothers, his sister, the people
They were
he
not
trusted.
just selfish. They were
They
dangerous.
were not just selfish, they were dangerous. Slowly,
They were
he
not
crawled
just
out.
selfish. They were dangerous.
His legs felt weak as he stood up. He sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the floor. The envelope was still there. He picked it up. His fingers trembled slightly. He didn't need to. Everything was already clear. "This was never love," he whispered. "This was control." He stood up and walked to the mirror. The man staring back at him looked calm, but his eyes, they had changed. "No," Tade said quietly to himself. "I won't confront them. Not yet." He shook his head slowly. "No. If I confront them now, they will deny everything." He could already imagine it. Fake tears, fake concern, fake apologies. They would just become smarter, he muttered. So he made a different decision. He would pretend. He would smile. He would laugh. He would act like nothing had changed. "I'll let them think they are winning," he said softly. But inside, he would plan. Carefully, quietly, dangerously. Plans to protect his children. Plans to protect Amara. Plans to protect himself. For the first time in years, Tade stopped being the victim. He picked up his phone and switched it on. Messages flooded in immediately. Missed calls. Kunle, Sola, Bisi. He ignored all of them. Instead, he opened his lawyer's contact, the only man he trusted more than family. The call connected quickly. "Good evening," the lawyer said. "I need you tonight," Tade replied. There was a short pause. "Is everything all right?" "No," Tade said calmly. "And I need discretion." He explained everything carefully. Not the hiding, not the fear, just facts. Money, documents, risk. The lawyer listened carefully. Then he spoke. "You need to protect your assets immediately." "I know," Tade replied. "What about your children?" the lawyer asked. Tade's voice became firm. "They come first." They discussed everything. accounts, trusts, legal control, emergency protection. By the time the call ended, the game was already starting to change. Later that night, Tade stood by the window, looking out at the bright lights of Lagos. The city was alive, busy, unaware. Somewhere out there, his family believed they had already won. They believed tomorrow would trap him. They believed fear controlled him. They believed he was still
tomorrow
blind.
would trap him. They
Tade
believed fear
smiled
controlled
slightly
him.
because they were
believed he
wrong.
was still blind.
Everything had changed. He picked up his phone and sent a short message. To Amara, stay close to me tomorrow. Her reply came almost immediately. I trust you. Tade looked at the message for a moment. Then he nodded slowly. Good, he whispered. Because tomorrow, the wedding would still happen, the smiles would still come, the celebration would still go on. But behind those smiles, a different story would be unfolding, one they never planned for, one they would never see coming, because the man they thought they controlled had finally awakened. And this time, he was ready. Thank you for watching, sweet folks. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out of the sweet and captivating stories we have in store for you on this channel. Also, tell us what you've learned and where you're watching from in the comment section. Your voice matters to us here. Stay and enjoy another stories on this channel. We remain the #1 sweetest African folktales. Love you, sweet folks.